So it's well known today that porn is one of the greatest addiction that mankind had ever known, and even the research shows today that porn it's one of the most destructive things that you can do as a man towards your masculinity and towards your sexuality. And as a guy myself, I also played with a lot of different types of porn, and ever since I was little, I remember myself just waiting for the moment that I would get into the computer and watch some porn and ejaculate. But today I understand the destructive part of porn, and as a guy myself, I stopped with porn 7 years ago, and today I wanted to share with you what happens after porn. What happens after you stop this destructive habit, and what you can learn from it, and hopefully you'll get some insights and maybe inspiration to do it yourself. So if you want to kind of go through the journey with me and understand a little bit more about yourself, your masculinity, then watch this video till the end. And if you don't know who I am, then I'll just share a little bit. My name is Ofek, and in the past 7 years, me and my partner, Michael, we help thousands of guys in their dating life. We help guys to get into relationship, meet attractive women, and go on dates, and also have like one-night stands and everything you ever wished and hoped for. So if that's something that resonates with you, you can press that like button. That will help YouTube to kind of distribute it for more people. And also you can subscribe to the channel because we have a lot of good videos on the way. And also you can click the bell and also get notified every time we upload a new video. So come on guys, let's go. So my journey through porn starts around at the age of 16. I remember a lot of guys told me that, you know, there's this thing called porn and, you know, you should get on it and you can ejaculate and stuff. And I was pretty naive as a guy. I was actually very shy, very timid, and I didn't know really what's going on there. I remember even until the age of 20, it was very hard for me to understand sexuality. It was very hard for me to understand how to have sex with a woman, even after I watched porn. So as a guy, you can imagine that was very weird for me to watch these two people or more online having sex, but something had happened to me there, which I felt that I can have sex even without actually doing sex. So I felt myself ejaculating, I saw it on the computer screen, and I felt good about myself. But as you know today, this is a myth. This is something that is not real. This is a fantasy. But as a young teenager, I thought to myself, wow, I get all this access to all this amazing and attractive women, and I don't need to overcome my shyness. So over time, I start to watch it more and more and more, and I become addicted to it. And it got to a point where it was very hard for me to leave my home and go to school without ejaculating. I was just waiting for that moment in my day which I can ejaculate it. And I really didn't think much about it, you know. I felt like it's a bit weird sometimes, but you know, as time kind of progressed, I thought to myself, wow, this is something that it's actually compulsive. I just felt like I need to do it again and again and again. And as the time kind of progressed, I started to feel bad about it. I started to feel like I didn't have really control over my ejaculation. And I wanted to take that back. So over time, I started to kind of think about what is porn and what is ejaculation and what is the different methods I can use to actually stop or reduce watching porn. And I really remember a lot of experiences I had with it. You know, sometimes I would do like maybe once a week I would ejaculate, and maybe once every 2 weeks. And I live in Israel, so I remember I was in the north of Israel, and the north is kind of really boring place. It's more difficult to meet women there. And I remember when I moved to the center, to Tel Aviv, which is a more vibrant and liberal city, I just decided like I'm gonna stop watching porn. And the reason for it was that I felt like there's no reason for me to keep watching it, because there are real women in real life which I can meet and attract, and I don't need to see it on the screen. So that was my motive, that was my decision, and ever since then I haven't watched porn even once. Maybe by mistake if someone had shown it to me, but not from my will. And I wanted to say this is one of the greatest decisions I had ever made, and I would share for this video kind of what happened to me and the insights I have. But I wanted to read to you some of the statistics about porn. So about 10 to 25% of men today, they are experiencing some sort of addiction to porn. They are feeling this compulsive behavior. So that's a lot of people. Think about in a room full of 10 people, you have 2, probably 3 guys. I think this is incorrect because where do they get this data from? But maybe 2 to 3 people in the room that are seriously addicted to it. They can't stop doing it. But if you want to know something more extreme, which is 60 to 80% of men experiencing a habit of watching porn. So they're watching it regularly. Think about a room of 10 people, 6 to 8 men watching porn regularly. And of course, some of them feels like it goes out of hand. It's compulsive. So let's kind of understand the mindset around porn and why it is so important to stop with it. So there's a lot of deficiencies in porn, and this is actually well researched today. You can look it up yourself. There's a lot of books on it. Some of the things that could happen if you watch porn regularly is, first of all, you get an erection problems. So it's hard for you to get it up, even if you are with an attractive woman, because your mind is stimulated usually with the hottest of women. And if you see a woman that it's not like that, it will be hard for you to get an erection. The second thing is you're not stimulated from like the simple things in life. Like people describe it as you go through nature and you're just not in an awe, like, oh, this is so beautiful, because your dopamine levels are different. And what it takes for you to have fun and to be happy, it had changed. The third thing that is happening is actually the structure of your brain and the behavior is changing. So you get less self-control, less quality of a decision making. In Israel, there's a saying that says, a guy thinks through his dick. So that's really what happens. You kind of think through your dick. It's like the fur brain that is controlling you, and it's hard for you to say no to porn, but also to other things. It can be junk food. It can be like just this thing that you shouldn't do, but you still do it. This compulsive behavior. The fourth thing that is happening is people saying that there's an uprising of loneliness and feeling kind of depressed, alone. This sort of thing could also happen with porn addiction. The next thing is it can really destroy relationship. If you are in a relationship with a woman, it can destroy the intimacy. The sixth thing is it's actually a dopamine addiction. So it's a addiction type of behavior, and it can obviously have its effects in terms of like withdrawal effect. So if you actually stop watching porn, you will get the feeling of a withdrawal. You feel maybe lethargic, maybe you feel itchiness, maybe you feel bad. And the next thing is actually you start to look at women as a sexual object rather than a human being. And it's actually really damaging your interactions with women, because if you think about the goal of just having sex with women and not really connect with a person, it will be very hard for you to make her feel comfortable with you, and women will not want to sleep with you. Okay, so now I wanted to share what happened for me after I stopped watching porn, but actually what I've understood kind of through times and working with thousands of men, it's really similar, this thing that people feel. And the first thing is I'm aroused much more easily. So if you really think about it, when you watch porn, actually what happens is you kind of get used to being aroused only when sex happens. But your brain actually can be aroused from simple things. Just think about it. You're having a sexual conversation with women. Even if you don't talk about sex, she's touching you, she's flirting with you. I can get aroused from it today. And when I was watching porn, this thing would not do anything to me, because I was thinking, well, only if I have sex with this woman should I get aroused. Who would get aroused just from talking to a woman? It's weird. And actually what happens is if you are more aroused when you're speaking to a woman, your conversation is better. Because you bring that sexual energy into this conversation, the woman feels it. She feels that you are attracted to her, and she can be attracted to you as well. This is actually a concept that we're teaching. It's called energy creates energy. So what I feel, she feels. If I feel attracted and aroused, she feels it too. And obviously, if she is attracted to me, it will come back. And it will help the conversation to be more sexual and more sexual. Also, if a woman sees, and that's something that she sees and feels, that you are aroused, she thinks highly about herself. She thinks, okay, I can get this guy aroused. Okay, he's attracted to me. And she actually feeling better about herself. She feeling more confident, so she can keep flirting and actually having this fun moment with you. The second thing that happened to me is I feel that I'm attracted to a much more variety of women than ever before. So think about it. If you're watching porn, you used to watch the hottest of women. Even on Instagram today, you can watch like the hottest of hottest, like the tits and the booty and the tan and like the tip top woman, and you think like this is the type of woman I should be aroused to. And maybe you see some videos of dating coaches or people talking about dating, and they said you need to get the hottest woman, you need to do this, you need to do that. But in reality, you can get attracted to a woman even if she's not the hottest. But if you stop watching porn, you understand that only appearance, it's not good enough. For example, a woman is hot, but she's very stupid. I would not want to have sex with her, okay? But this is me. Maybe you are different. But now I feel like I can be attracted to personality. I can attract to like flirting, like a woman that knows how to flirt. I can be attracted to her. But also you can say that I can be attracted to appearance as well. Like, I mean, it doesn't disqualify it, but it actually says that you are attracted to more women. And this is mean more sex and more fun for you. The first thing that happened to me is I feel more in control about my impulses. So think about this. As a guy, if you want to really develop your masculinity, you want to develop your self-confidence, your charisma, but also you want to develop your self-control. So for example, you see a woman walking down the street and the woman is very attractive, she have a nice booty. Are you the type of guy who's just going to stare at her like this and not going to talk to her? Or you're just going to look for a second, say, okay, nice booty, and then you're going to turn, or maybe even better, you're going to actually talk and approach her. It happens a lot of me in the gym. I'm just sitting there and, a lot of booties comes in my way, and I have the self-control to say, I'm not going to stare at it like a fucking creep like this, booty, because I have this control. And this is something you develop when you stop watching porn. Obviously, you can do it when watching porn, but it's just more difficult. And also, I can say no for a lot of things. For sex, for women that I'm not attracted to, I can say no. My sexual impulses doesn't decide what shall I do. The fourth thing that happened to me is I feel more sexual. Obviously, you heard the sentence that said we are a sexual being. But have you really felt it? Have you ever felt the sexuality within you? So if you really feel it, you can connect to it and you can be a better lover, you can be better at bed, you can be better at flirting. So think about this. If I want to flirt with a woman, I actually want to transmit a sexual energy. And if I'm aroused more easily, I feel the sexuality within me, I feel a little bit tingling in my body, I feel horny, then I can flirt a lot more better. And also, I want to do more things. I want to work out at the gym. I want to work more. I want to do a lot more stuff. And that's making me better as a man. It makes me achieve the things that I want to achieve. And the fifth thing is actually I feel more happy. Because I feel more in control, because I feel there's not something that's pulling me down, I feel like I'm more at peace within my body. So if that's something that's interesting for you, to be more happy, a lot of guys says, I just want to have sex with as many women as possible, and that's fine. But if you want to be happy, that can also help you to achieve this. So this was my experience. If you kind of like the story and you like what I've shared, you can press that like button, and also you can subscribe to the channel because we have a lot of great videos ahead. You can also click that notification bell and you get notified every time we are uploading a new video. And also you can share your thoughts down below if you liked the video, if you didn't like, and also you can really write everything. You can say, hey, Ofik, you're good looking, blue-eyed guys, and I can say thank you. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you the next time. Bye bye.